Twitch has just demonstrated once more that they are blatantly sexist and hypocritical. This follows a case in which female streamers Nina Lin and Zoe Spencer were banned from Twitch for allegedly engaging in sexual assault. Now, the victim in this case is a man named Sed, who was streamer Silky's assistant on FaZe. A webcast from earlier this year showed Zoe and Nina making what appeared to be sexual approaches on Sed, including Zoe attempting to twerk on him while Nina restrained his arms. Just have a look.
Hey, come here.
Zoe, you can't. Zoe, you can't.
He's 23. No, he's consensual.
No, he's not consensual.
Yes, he is.
He's not even saying nothing.
He likes it. Yeah, give.
Oh, no.
I don't think he wants to.
Yeah, stay right there. Stay right there. Stay right there. Stay right there. Hold on. Hold on.
Even though he is laughing in this video, Sed is obviously not interested in any of this and is even fleeing the scene entirely. And it's obvious that Silky doesn't want it.
You trying to block him from getting ass, you weird. Bro, he don't want it, bro.
People may now accuse Sed of being gay because he doesn't want a lady to twerk on him. But I don't want a woman to twerk on me if I'm not attracted to her in any manner, or even if we don't have a relationship. It's easy. I didn't agree. Because they wouldn't be singing the same song at all if the roles were reversed and it was a woman and two males. I wouldn't go so far as to say that they violated me, though I would simply advise them to cease and continue. However, Sed's bounds are not what I just described. They are my own. No two people are alike. Everyone reacts differently, but I'm not saying that twerking on someone without their consent is an assault. As Sed notes in his tweets regarding the matter, I've been vocal about this situation originally, and nobody cared. It appears that much more occurred behind the scenes. Talking about it again took a lot of effort on my part, and it has hurt me for the third time. I will need some time to recover. The other parties, who are unaware of what it did, have invalidated me, and Nina received a lot of negative feedback online once this video went viral again. She made the decision to deny everything, claiming that it was shameful for a man to claim to have been abused.
So what if he says, I feel like you did some shit wrong?
No, so the whole Saeed thing, no one essay Saeed. That's why today I was actually looking for Saeed. I was going to talk to him, like, you definitely felt disrespected as a person. Me, I take accountability what I do. If you dead ass felt disrespected, I didn't know. So you gotta let me know. If you did, I will always apologize. I mean, that's just normal people. But for him to walk around and say all that crazy shit, you never think about what Saeed's thinking too, though. Like, who wants to walk around being called that? That's embarrassing for him as a guy.
This tape makes it quite evident that she says, no one said. Just wondering if we're viewing the same clips. For example, someone told me in the comments, bro, am I hallucinating? For example, if a man was attempting to hump a woman, or anything, and two men and a woman were just doing that, bro. In any case, I'm witnessing a man named Sed twerk on a woman. Bro, what makes a man twerk on a woman? For example, it would have to be comparable to a woman twerking on a male. That would have to be attempting to hump a woman, or grind on her, or something similar. People say that a man is it would simply be illogical. It isn't comparable. Therefore, you guys wouldn't be saying the same thing if it were two males and a woman doing that. Bro, people on the internet would be furious. As all of this was going on, people were bombarding her chat while she was streaming, and her moderators were just removing comments regarding the situation from her chat and interfering on her behalf in an attempt to put an end to the whole thing. After the videos became widely shared, Nina Lin would eventually admit her mistakes and take responsibility for her actions.
And listen, I'm old enough to own up to what I did wrong. And during the situation, I genuinely 100% thought it was a joke. I just thought he was laughing, so I'm like, oh, like we all just laughing and geeking. But yeah, I see. It is wrong. It is really, really wrong, and what we did was wrong. You know, he clearly was uncomfortable with it, you know, and he was very hurt by it, so that's all that we know.
Alright, this is obviously just some PR. For example, this is a PR apology or response. This isn't something I just believe. Do you understand what I'm saying? In my opinion, Sed obviously doesn't want it if he is rushing away at the end of the day. Simply move on if Sed isn't compatible with you. Do you understand what I'm saying? Similar to the following segment. Do you understand what I mean? But do you sense me among them? With Zoe, they are constantly hostile. You understand what I mean when I say that you have two aggressive women. They're just like a couple. And there's a guy like that who doesn't really advocate for himself. These are going to be the outcomes, after all. As for claiming that Sed was laughing, and that he didn't appear uneasy or anything, well, the man was obviously fleeing. I apologize. I don't care, mate. The man was laughing. It's people who constantly laugh in tense situations. Dude, even women, in some awkward circumstances. Therefore, it's hard to blame the man for giggling. Do you understand what I'm saying? It simply doesn't make sense. Now, The main event in this circumstance, the topic of this video, and the reason for the title, is that Nina and Zoe Spencer were banned from Twitch a few days ago. The entire affair was being celebrated online, with people saying things like "damn pack watch," "it's a new pack I'm smoking," "smoking on her channel," and other such things. Even Stable Ronaldo called Nina Lynn a freak and said that it was a real crime.
I mean, yeah, she's a f***ing weirdo. I don't know how it took that long.
Yeah, she didn't make it a TOS offense. That's a crime.
That's a literal crime. And you know it's bad when she admitted and she said that he should be embarrassed.
Yeah.
Like, what are you, what?
So bad. And then,
That was like the worst thing you could have ever said.
as we go to XQC react to it, they're like, she should be banned. And then she's like, I'm sorry. Like, bro, how you gonna apologize after the fact?
Well, they're not even useful to the f***ing platform. Who gives a f***?
Claiming that Twitch waited far too long to ban her after she said will now reply to these prohibitions by expressing gratitude and stating that he will still make a remark at a later time. In the midst of her public and private PR cleansing, she attempted to contact said, even requesting his phone number.
I gotta do better. I gotta do better as a person. I got people supporting me. I got people looking up to me, and I gotta do better, bro. And if things happen, you know, instead of just wondering if it's really wrong or not, I'm just gonna go up there and say, yo, bro, that was my fault. And I'm very sorry for traumatizing you. But at the same time, we're gonna give the boy some room. Reached out to him personally, done everything. I've apologized, you know, as sincerely as I can. Also, if he wants to talk off stream, I totally get it though. That's exactly what I want for him as well too, because that's probably more comfortable for him, you know? Whatever's more comfortable, honestly. Hope he's doing okay. Shout out you, Saeed.
Said would eventually go live to discuss the matter, even admitting that his parents had sobbed upon learning of what had transpired. The outcome of this event was not what he wanted.
Basically, I didn't want this whole thing to have an outcome like this. I mean, I didn't want it to, like, them being banned is not really anything to me, because at the end of the day, like, sexual assault is a crime. And people that say that it's not sexual assault, I don't know what you think sexual assault is or anything like that. I don't know. I just, this whole thing resurfaces, like every single time it resurfaces, it just takes a toll on me, and I just don't want to talk about it just because of that. And like, the main thing for me is, like, I don't want my parents to see it and then have them like break down over it. I did later on tell my parents about the sexual assault, and my mom ended up crying for a whole month and felt like it was her fault. I will be taking time to deal with it myself, and I'll obviously try and work on being more vocal about it. And I really hope that people learn from this and try and understand, like, other people can deal with stuff like this and you probably don't even know. And the thing that hurt me the most was when they said I should be embarrassed, that I'm probably embarrassed.
Everyone on the internet believes that everything is fantastic and that this is the happy ending. Do you understand what I mean? They didn't notice Zoe Spencer's unbanned status on Twitch. How, after all, are we supposed to be astonished by Twitch? Said will reply that this is simply not possible. It's unbelievable that a platform like Twitch, which essentially has a zero-tolerance policy for sexual assault, would unban a streamer who is accused of sexual assault. You're right, said you have streamers like Speed, who, well, you know, back when he was younger, because Speed has changed so much. I dislike bringing up the subject since it presents him negatively, even if he has entirely changed since then. Essentially telling Oshkosh that if they were the only two people on Earth, he would attack her because no one would stop him. For that, he received a 2-year ban. Gideon was banned for directing his community to Pokémon's chat, essentially spamming it with random, non-serious content like L's and the like. For that, he received a 2-year ban. However, a random broadcaster who happens to be a woman can engage in sexual activity while streaming, be banned, and then be unbanned in a day. You cannot claim that there isn't a trend in this situation. Let's now examine the community guidelines on Twitch. Dude, you know the rules and regulations are a mainstay of Twitch. What are their thoughts on sexual violence is a serious offense? They state in their section on adult sexual violence, law enforcement may be notified of any conduct or content that encourages or threatens sexual violence. Twitch does not allow sexual violence, and users who engage in it risk having their accounts suspended right away. You also appreciate the instances, which include touching someone in a private way without their consent, forcing a guest to engage in sex by threatening them, and non-consensual sex acts. Didn't said end up like that last line. Tell me, Sexual harassment comes next. Oh, there are so many instances like this. Twitch has a strong anti-sexual harassment stance. Whether these remarks are made to anyone on or off Twitch, sexual harassment is never acceptable. Sexual harassment is defined as encouraging or expressing a desire to commit sexual violence against another person, directing another person to engage in non-consensual sexual acts, or engaging in non-physical sexual behaviors that could make others feel uncomfortable, dehumanized, unsafe, or discouraged from participating. Didn't Nina and Zoe Spencer do that? You people lack integrity. Man, hurry up. Twitch, you have to do better. It's as easy as that, dude. Then another video of Zoe Spencer twerking in front of said or anything else reappeared. Yo, you're not going to get behind that. Someone suggests, oh, what do I do? He asks.
You scared? Right. That's right. What do I need to do? You give a rule, I need to control it.
Additionally, this entire clip is a complete waste of time. That's what people are attempting to say. Indeed, he desired it because he wanted it in this clip and in the others, and it was cool. As if it simply doesn't make sense. You all simply need to return to school. Guys, since your critical thinking abilities are lacking, that would be equivalent to claiming that a woman's previous grinding on a man indicates that she desired to have sex with him. Like, dude, it just doesn't make logic. She didn't want the guy to support her again just because she had previously cheated on him. Do you understand what I'm saying? In another case, does that mean she doesn't feel what I'm saying only because she allowed it to happen at the time? There's a strange subtlety to it. However, consent is still consent. Do you understand what I'm saying? You can't be critical of a man who wants something and doesn't want it right now. Do you sense me? Because ultimately, things can genuinely go too far. It's absurd since this man accomplished absolutely nothing. She simply stopped when he simply stood there. He just stood there, like, buddy? He approached. He did very little. She quit without even getting or grinding on A. It's as easy as that. Dude. And once more, dude. I don't care if you say things like, oh, I'm soft, or, oh, he's gay. You understand, my guy? That I don't fool with women if I don't want them to twerk on me. You sense that I'm not attracted to it. Back up. Like, do you understand what I'm saying? I'm cool with you. I don't want that. For example, I identify as heterosexual. You see what I mean when I say that they are just my boundaries. For example, they don't suddenly turn me into a homosexual. Simply said, it doesn't make sense. You guys' reasoning is nonsensical. And for that reason, you guys just let anyone walk right over you. All of you guys are jerks. What am I saying? Some of you simply don't have anything at all. My buddy, some of you have never experienced a woman's touch. Since you don't receive anything, some of you might find this to be rather cool. However, please share your thoughts on this matter with me. Just my opinion. Nobody, I believe, has actually gone into the community guidelines and broken things out in this particular way. Please let me know if you liked the video. If you don't like the video, please let me know. I'm out. Dude, it's Farta.